Baseball has returned to Bowen Field for the Bluefield College Rams as they host the Ohio Christian Trailblazers here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Hello, everybody. Bailey Angle here, the voice of the Bluefield College Rams. Glad to have you with us on a beautiful Friday for a doubleheader here in the two Virginias in Bluefield, Virginia. Well, OCU coming into this game at 2-6, but Mike White in his 11th year as the head coach of Bluefield College has the Rams off to a great start at 6-1. Trailblazers are going to throw out a lineup that looks like this. Hunter Gray gets the start in center field and will bat first. Andrew Clamworth, the DH, bats second, wearing number 11. Batting third, Isaiah Haley. He will catch today for the Trailblazers. And batting fourth, the left fielder, Ethan Skoronsky. Batting fifth, Ian Rasenga. He'll play at first base. Batting sixth, third baseman Hayden Hufford. And then the 7 hole, Logan Hill will get the start in right field. And then coming up as the second baseman, batting 8th, Trevor Raymond will bat 8th. And then batting 9th, the shortstop Brandon Barger for OCU. For Bluefield, Bailey Castro, the shortstop, will lead off for the Rams. Batting second, Jose Perez, and playing second, Josh McGee. His first year as a Bluefield College Ram will bat third and play in left field, while batting fourth, Austin Browning. He'll play at first base. Oscar Torres gets the start at DH and will bat fifth for Bluefield College. Jordan Jackson out of New Jersey already has 2 home runs on the season. Bats sixth and plays in right field. Jordan Ackerman bats seventh and plays in center. The catcher batting 8th, Sean Parley, and then Marcus Espinal will bat 9th and play at second base. Just about ready to get everything underway here. Logan Webb will get the start as the pitcher for the Ohio Christian Trailblazers today. And then for Bluefield, starting out on the bump, Peyton Tennant. He'll get the start for Bluefield, looking for his second win on the season. Got the national anthem coming up right here at Bowen Field. The sun beaming down on an unusually warm afternoon in February in Bluefield, Virginia. We're going to take a quick break, and the first pitch is coming up right after this. Just about ready to start this series between OCU and the Bluefield College Rams here at Bowen Field. Top of the first coming up, and on the mound for Bluefield, Peyton Tennant will get the start in game one of this doubleheader. Likely to remind you folks that we do have a game right after this, playing 7 innings, just like minor league baseball. But Peyton Tennant getting the start on the rubber today, the lefty from Ringgold, Georgia, just a sophomore, and went to Georgia Highlands College before he became a Bluefield College Ram. So far on the year, Peyton has a 7 ERA and 9 innings pitched, 6 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. And he's also given up 5 walks, but he's racked up 9 strikeouts. So in the field for Bluefield, Espinal at third, Castro at short, Perez at second base, Browning at first, and in the outfield going left to right, McGee, Ackerman, Jackson, and then completing the battery with Tennant is Parlee. So the Rams wearing those cream-colored jerseys today with the blue caps, and OCU kind of very similar to the colors at Bluefield College with the blue and white. They're wearing those solid blues today with the yellow. Batting first for the Trailblazers, it will be the center fielder, Hunter Gray. Rams coming into this one at 6-1. What a great start for a young team grouped up with some pretty older players in their first year at Bluefield College, as well as a ton of freshmen. And the lefty looks right down the middle of the field, rocks and delivers. And the first pitch is a fastball right down Broadway for strike one. So the start time, 4:07 Eastern Standard Time. The sun just beaming down behind the right field fence. And the kick and the 0-1. Gray stares at it, but just misses outside. So just one start for Tennant so far this year as the lefty delivers again. The 1-1 just creeps up a tad bit high. And this is an Ohio Christian team that has struggled this year, just at 2-6. They played Concordia in their last couple of games and allowed more than 10 runs in each loss. 2-1 delivery. On a check swing and a high fastball, just misses, and it creeps to a batter's count for Hunter Gray at 3-1. So still no score, first batter of the game. Both Castro and Perez playing back in the middle of the infield. 3-1. Swung on, lifted high in the air, deep to left field. McGee creeps back to the track, and that one is gone. Opening home run for Ohio Christian. And Hunter Gray cracked that one right over the left field fence. Well, he worked himself into a favorable count, and then that wall just 335 feet behind or beyond home plate, and Hunter Gray let it sail. So a tough start to this one, 1-0 Ohio Christian. That was just a high fastball on that quick little release of Peyton Tennant, and he made him pay. Gray just turned on it, the righty. So with no outs and a fresh lead, here comes a lefty and Andrew Clamforth. Clamforth steps up to the plate with an open stance, lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. Clamforth takes a healthy cut and a miss. There's strike one. So definitely not the way that Peyton Tennant wants to start this game, but he does have a flat 7 ERA. You have to get some offensive help. Next pitch is a fastball a little bit high and in. And the catcher for Bluefield, Sean Parlee, just tells him to cool it. Unusually sweltering day in February. From the belt, he rocks. Swung on and poked down the left field line. That is foul. Just about 5 feet to the left of the left field foul line. So it's now a 1-2 count, just one strike away from the first out here in the top of the first. 1-0. So Ohio Christian really jumping on Bluefield so far. That first batter. Now the 1-2. Swung on, popped up right over the press box here on the third base line. And that will land out of play. So the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter Gray starting out well for Ohio Christian. Tennant with that ball in his right hand. The next pitch drops in, strike 3. Got him on an off-speed pitch right on the outside of the plate, and it opens up for the first out. So Clamforth goes down, and that'll bring up Isaiah Haley. So Haley batting right-handed, Tennant the lefty with one out. Fires the first pitch, swung on and grounded on the shortstop side, picked up, throw to first in time, and 2 outs as Castro connected with Browning. So on the 6-3 put out, 2 outs after the opening home run on that 3-1 pitch. That'll bring up Ethan Skoronski. Not really the start Tennant wanted, but now the lefty has a chance against another lefty, the left fielder. And Skoronski having a pretty good year, batting .407. No homers, but 5 RBIs. Takes a look at the first pitch, and it goes a little outside. Oh, the kick and the 1-0. The fastball just creeping up a little bit high. Well, Bluefield in their last series with Bruton Parker went 2-1 against the Barons on the road. This is their first series at home. Now number 2 with a 2-0. Swing and a miss. Clapping into the glove of Parlee for the first strike of the at-bat. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1-0 Ohio Christian. Still on the top of the first. Well, Tennant nodding into his battery mate. Eyes in his glove. Kick and pitch. 2-1, swung on, slapped down the third baseline, just past the pick of Espinal and into left field. Stopping at first will be Skoronski, and that will allow him to stay at first base. It looked like a bad hop on Marcus Espinal. They will score that as a hit. So a single for Skoronski and the second hit of the inning for this Ohio Christian team. Just tried to snag it on the backhand and then just went into left field. So Tennant now has a runner to deal with at first base after giving up a home run to start the game. Here's Ian Reisinga. Wearing number 19, the first baseman, with a runner at first. First pitch. Just a little inside, ball 1. Well, Reisinga making his second start on the season, has no homers and no RBIs. Still hitting .333 in just 18 at-bats. Tennant with the pitch. Right down the middle to even the count at 1-1. So Skoronski at first. First batter of the ball game, Hunter Gray, sailed a pitch over 340 feet out in left field for a home run on a 3-1 deal from Tennant. Since then, we've seen a strikeout of Clamforth and a ground out from Isaiah Haley. Now the 1-1. Check swing on a high fastball. He laid off. Well, 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Tennant really trying to just get Bluefield out of a long top of the first. Delayed kick and the 2-1 offering gets past Parlee. Skoronski will easily advance to second into scoring position as he rounds off. So that will be a wild pitch. Parlee couldn't get it on the hop, though. Now 3 balls, 1 strike. And remember, the last time there was a 3-1 count in this inning, Hunter Gray absolutely turned on one into left field. As the sun beams down from beyond the mountains in right field, Bluefield has a runner to worry about at second base. Pitch from Tennant. Drops in low, ball 4, and there are 2 men aboard for Ohio Christian. Hayden Hufford now ready to come up to the plate, the third baseman. You just see a quick little visit from the shortstop, Bailey Castro. He turns around and goes to shortstop. Ohio Christian, coached by Michael Blevins. 3rd season as the head coach of the Trailblazers. He's also the third base coach today. 2 men on, 2 outs. 1-0 Ohio Christian. Kick and the pitch. Just a bit inside. Parlee snagged it on a hop and calls time to talk with his pitcher. That's another reminder to Bluefield College fans. If you go over to the AACsports.com website, you can watch Bluefield College Rams men's basketball take on Truett McConnell today. And a big win last night against Bryan College that sent them into the conference semifinals. So if they win today, they will play Union College tomorrow. 1 ball, no strikes now, back to the diamond. Tennant deals. Fastball right across the chest of the batter. Makes it 1-1. Skoronski at second, Rysinga at first. From the belt. In the dirt, pass Parley, both runners advanced. And now they will not try to go home either. 2 balls and 1 strike. And already trying to flirt with going home, that was Skoronski. He turned around and was about to book it, trying to bait Tennant into making a bad play, but instead he retreats back to third base. So Hufford now in a 2-1 count. Rysinga at second, Skoronski at third, and a chance to knock in 2 runners with a base knock here. Hufford already hitting .389 on the year with no homers, 1 RBI. 18 at-bats. Pitch. Check swing, a pitch in the dirt. Parley watches it roll down the third baseline, and he'll just underhand it right back to the pitcher. Makes it 3-1. Already just such a long inning for Tennant. Bluefield will send Castro out to bat first for the start of the bottom of the first. If he can get out of this here, it won't be that bad, just surrendering that leadoff home run. Takes a deep breath. 3-1 pitch. Outside and low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So 2 straight walks for Tennant. Haven't seen a mound visit yet, and now we will. Thomas Huddleston, in his first year as the pitching coach for Bluefield, coming out of a small town in Tennessee, a former Ram, played some independent league ball out in New Mexico. Now has to talk it over with his entire infield. Well, Bluefield, this is probably the best team they've played so far this year.
Yo, Blue.
And still for Ohio Christian, just at 2-6. So no balls, no strikes, because the new batter is up. That's Logan Hill. So Hill comes into this one playing in all 8 games for this Ohio Christian team, and he has started in 5 of them before this. No homers and 1 RBI, and just hitting .200, batting as the 7th batter. Bases loaded. First pitch from Tennant. Right down the middle, strike 1. It's a good start to the at-bat with everybody on. This is certainly a jam with just 2 outs still. Tennant with the shrug. He fires. Just a bit high, trying to get it across those OCU letters across the chest, but it just crept a little outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on a fastball. Pitch. Outside again. So can the Rams get out of this one? 2 balls and 1 strike. Peyton Tennant with a 7 ERA. Bluefield's going to need some offense. It looks like they're sending someone to the bullpen. That pitch swung on, lifted down the right field line towards foul territory, and it drops just out of fair play. So it will be strike 2. As he tried to lace that one down the right field line, Logan Hill could have really put a dent in the scoreboard there, but instead, just a bit outside, so now Bluefield will have a chance to knock him down here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first, Rams down by 1 after Hunter Gray cracked a home run on the 3-1 pitch over the left field wall. By the way, for Hunter Gray, that was his first home run of the season as well as his first RBI. Also had scored 4 runs before that. From the belt, 2-2. Swung on, line drive, left field base hit. Skoronski will score. Rysinga wheeling around third. He will score as well, and it's an RBI single for Logan Hill. Makes it 2-0. Great job of defensive hitting that time for Logan Hill. Able to knock Rysinga into home, and now, or rather, Rysinga will score as well. Skoronsky comes in, Hufford over to second, and Logan Hill stays at first base. So it's a 2 RBI single. Makes it 3-0. Pitch just a little bit inside on Trevor Raymond, second baseman. So Raymond batting 8th. Made 4 starts this year, no homers, 1 RBI, and a .083 average. Pitch. Watch down the middle, strike 1. Right-handed pitcher just saw it come in from the lefty. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Can Tennant get out of this jam? 2 men on. The pitch swung on, ground ball over to second base, snagged by Perez, tosses back to Castro, and the inning is finally over. A 3-run score on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Headed to the bottom of the first, it's 3-0 Ohio Christian. Going into the bottom of the first inning, Rams already in a bit of a hole here at 3-0. Ohio Christian up after a home run from the leadoff batter Hunter Gray, and then a 2 RBI single from Logan Hill. Knocked in Skoronsky and Rysinga. And now Bluefield will battle with Logan Webb. First pitch from the righty. Castro swings and tips it right back up to the pitcher, but it went off of his foot, so he will get another chance. Well, Logan Webb has struggled this year, so Bluefield with a chance now. Just an 11.70 ERA for Logan Webb. He's 0-3 on the year. He's pitched 10 innings, given up 21 hits, 18 runs, 13 of them earned. 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. He's given up just 1 home run as that pitch is swung on and fouled off on the right field side and goes over the Bluefield dugout. Castro, Perez, and McGee all guaranteed at bats in this inning. Castro hitting .458 with 3 RBIs. A pretty good season for him so far. Pitch swung on, popped up right in the sun on the right field side, goes near the batting facility and drops in the parking lot. Count stays at 0-2. So 3-0, Ohio Christian up. Trailblazers able to jump out hard on Bluefield. Now the junior from San Diego sees another pitch. It's a fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The transfer from Southwestern Community College. Second highest batting average on the team. As Castro swings and just slides it back on the right side of the backstop. Actually dropped his bat in the process. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the field for Ohio Christian, Hufford at third, Barger at short. Raymond at second base, Reisinga at first. Skorotsky in left, Gray in center. And Hill out in right field. The 1-2. It's a bit high and outside on the righty. Makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Castro's got 10 hits on the year. 7 of them are singles. A guy that just gets on base. 2-2. Swung on and popped up again. This time it's right over the batting facility on the right field side and just curves into the trees. Another pitch. Just a bit high and inside. Now the count is at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat so far for Bailey Castro. And Logan Webb tries to fight back. Payoff. Swung on and hit hard down the left field line, creeping into the left field corner for a base hit. Castro with a hard round to first, but he will stay there. And that's a single to open up the bottom of the first for Bluefield. Skorotsky had to play it all the way near the warning track. That really was a frozen rope past the glove of Hufford. Now Bluefield has a runner on with no outs, down 3-0. So Logan Webb, the senior right-handed pitcher from Whitehall, Ohio, has to duel this out with Jose Perez. Perez batting left-handed against the righty with a runner at first. Pitch swung on and hit over to the third baseman. Hufford throws to second. It is in time. So it was right off of a bounce. Hufford jumped up near the third baseline, snagged it pretty impressively, and slung it over to second base to retire Bailey Castro. So Perez will get on with a fielder's choice. Castro retired on a 5-4. So with a runner at first, here comes Josh McGee. McGee's had one of his better seasons, really, in college baseball. It's his first year at Bluefield. He's been to a couple of schools. First Southeastern Louisiana University, and then went to Faulkner last year, elsewhere in the NAIA. Hitting .455 with 5 homers and 14 RBIs. The first pitch goes at his thighs, but a little outside. So righty versus righty. The left fielder has a senior battling with the senior on the mound. Jose Perez waits idly by at first base. Pick off, move not in time. Reisinga gloved it, but Perez slid back in head first. Jared Schilling, the first base coach, a former Bluefield College Ram as well, coming out of San Diego, California. Heads up GT team for Bluefield. 1-0. Fastball watch out down the pike by Perez. Thought it was going at him, turned into it. Now it evens up and down the count at 1 out. You can expect a lot of offense in this game. Bluefield with 10 and 7 ERA, and now with Logan Webb allowed on average 10 or more runs a game. 1-1. Drops in low. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Bowen Fielder just trying to move into springtime. That usual leafy backdrop you can see in the summer as a pickoff move does not succeed over at first base. All the trees have yet to get their foliage back, so kind of looks like winter time right behind the wall, but we expect that to be in bloom in the next month or so. 2 balls and 1 strike. Webb checking first, fires. Swung on and sliced right back towards the backstop. Makes the count at 2-2. It's 1 out. Austin Browning on deck coming out of Yuma, Arizona, and Oscar Torres in the hole. Bluefield looking for a chance to fight back, already down 3-0. Once again, a spin and a pick move by Logan Webb. He is very preoccupied with the runner at first and Jose Perez. And Perez getting that cream-colored jersey pretty dirty. It says Rams across the front. Webb ready again. The pitch swung on, grounded over towards first base, and it leaks into right field for a single. Here comes Perez. Throw to third, not in time. Perez on his way to second, or rather that's McGee, and on some sneaky base running, got all the way to second base. So it'll be a single for McGee, and then on the throw, he advances to second. Perez all the way on the corner at third base, and now Bluefield is in shape with 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 out. So now a chance for Austin Browning to get back into the swing of things for the Rams. Well, Austin Browning batting under 200. Gets the start as the first baseman today. Also a catcher for Bluefield. Grew up in Arizona. The first pitch swung on and stroked down the left field line. That's a base hit. There'll be some runs scored for Bluefield. Perez easily trots in. Throw to second. Not in time as he dropped the ball. So Perez scores. McGee easily comes in as well. And now it is 3-2. So Browning with a good line drive into left field. Dropped right in front of Skowronski. Because of that glare, it's so hard to see for these Trailblazers where that ball is going. And then now already Bluefield back within 1, and the dugout on the first base side is pretty fired up. So 3-2, Rams down by 1. Now trying to keep this thing going is Oscar Torres. First pitch to the righty is in the dirt. Torres, the DH in this game. Also a third baseman and an outfielder from Brooklyn, New York. With an open stance on the right-handed side. The pitch, well, he watches the 1-0 creep a little too far in on him. So 2 balls and no strikes. Comes into this game batting .346, 1 run and 14 ribbies. As a runner at second base and Browning trying to tie it up. Webb fires. Swung on and hit up in the air into center field. Going back is Gray, and that one is gone. Second home run of the year for Oscar Torres, and the 2-run bomb puts Bluefield up in the bottom of the first. What a hit for Oscar Torres. Greeted at home by Austin Browning, and then Bluefield, after that rough top of the first, already finds themselves up. That was a no-doubter. Gray was chasing that one back all the way to the wall. So it makes it 4-3, and already see a visit from the pitching coach for Ohio Christian. And just 1 out as well. So the game started off, for the bottom of the first, I should say, started off with a single from Bailey Castro. Perez got on with the fielder's choice when he hit it over to third base that retired Castro. Right after that, Josh McGee poked a single right over to right field and then advanced to second base when they were trying to throw out Jose Perez at third. Austin Browning with a single allowed a couple of runners to come in. He got to second after everybody was trying to get the runners out at home. And then Oscar Torres with a 2-run bomb puts Bluefield up 4-3. So a great start, and now Jordan Jackson, the senior from New Jersey, wearing number 8 and getting the start in right field with a chance to keep this going. He has 2 homers, 7 RBIs, but batting a little under 300. First pitch from the righty. It's a changeup that falls just a little inside. 4 runs already for Bluefield, scored with just 1 out. Taking the lead against OCU, the 1-0. Check swing on a pitch low and away. Appeal? Yes, he went. Evens the count at 1-1. Nobody on for Bluefield after Torres cleared the Ducks off the pond. 1-1. Another changeup dropping in a little too far inside. Makes the count at 2-1. Well, Jackson a little bit better last year where he batted .355. 2-1. Swung on and stroked up in the air into left field. Going back is Gray, converging with Skowronski. He'll make the catch in left center. That makes it out number 2, and after Jackson put a little bit of pop in there, you got to wonder, will Logan Webb be able to stay in for a few more innings, because Bluefield has been able to turn on some of these fastballs left high and in. Jordan Ackerman stepping up to the plate. One of the shorter players for Bluefield, but still one of the best hitters for the Rams. First pitch, Ackerman swings and fouls it right off his right calf for strike one. Oh, the left-handed batter coming out of Oregon. Had to miss all of last year for a shoulder injury. This is his first year. Pitch. Drops low and away, just kicking up some dirt to even up the count at 1-1. Well, 2 outs. Ackerman trying to keep this thing going. Webb. That pitch just goes high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ackerman raking so far. The young man from John Day, Oregon. 409 average, 3 homers and 15 RBIs. 2-1. Swung on and fouled right past the catcher in Haley. Makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not a lot of wind we have here at Bowen Field. Remember, folks, we're playing the first of 2 games, and already a pretty long start here in this first game of the doubleheader. Both games only being played to 7 innings. Even count on Ackerman with 2 outs and Bluefield leading 4-3. He has a slightly open stance as the 2-2 flies a bit low and outside. Count loads up. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the center fielder. Payoff. Swung on, hit high in the air, out in left field. Skaronski chasing back, and that is off the wall. Ackerman trots into second with a stand-up double. And boy, that was just a few feet away for the 4th home run for Ackerman this season. Bluefield will take it. He's one of the faster base runners the Rams have on this roster. Now Sean Parlee with a chance to knock in his teammate from second base. And that wind we do have here start to show up right there. That fence at 335, both of the corners in left and right. Could have used a little bit more of wind, but Ackerman used just about as much as he could take. Well, Parlee, the right-handed catcher, sees that ball right down the middle for strike 1. A junior from Mooresville, North Carolina. Next pitch drops in, low and away. Just hitting .250, he has 1 RBI. Went to Rockingham Community College before this. Ackerman with a healthy lead at second. That pitch swung on and popped on a grounder over to second. Raymond Fields throws over to Rysinga, and the side is retired. But Bluefield doing some mega damage there in the bottom of the first inning. 4-run score on 5 hits for the Rams and 1 runner left on base. 4-3 Bluefield headed to the second inning on the Rams Digital Sports Network. So Mike White snatches Peyton Tennant off of the mound after the first inning is over. Going into the second inning of this 7-inning contest, the Rams lead 4-3 after a big inning offensively for the Rams in the bottom of the fourth, or in the bottom of the first, I should say. And now in Caleb Newman as he is pitching to the 9-1-2. Big righty deals a fastball high and in, makes it ball one. Brandon Barger up, Hunter Gray, as well as Andrew Clamforth, all due up for this Ohio Christian team. So Tennant gives up all of those 3 runs earned. Now a chance for Caleb Newman, one of the bigger pitchers for Bluefield. Roxon on the long kick, fires that pitch, slapped into center field for a leadoff hit for Brandon Barger. Well, the shortstop is on, make that 2 straight innings where Ohio Christian is able to get the leadoff man on. So Newman into that first pitch, pitching at .838 on the year with the ERA, 1 win, 1 loss. That was in 2 games. He pitched 9 2/3 innings, 15 hits, 13 runs, 9 of them earned, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Back to the top of the lineup, here's Hunter Gray. He's 1 for 1 with a homer. Pitch. Fastball high, but it gets past Parley, and on the pass ball, that will easily advance Barger over to second base. The fastball just clipped off the glove of Parley, and that was easy for Barger to just sprint over to second base and into scoring position. Ohio Christian just at 2-6. Looking to bounce back here. This could be a long doubleheader if the pitching does not improve. Newman from the belt, looking over at second. Hunter Gray. The pitch, swing and a miss, big cut. That's something we really haven't said that much of Ohio Christian today. They have not whiffed on a ton of pitches. He digs right back in on the left of the plate. The right-handed batter with a 1-1 count and a runner at second. Pitch, shows bunt and falls to his behind. Parley with a pump fake, and he'll just lob it back to his pitcher. So Barger tried to bunt. The pitch was a little too far inside. And now as we get some slight cloud coverage here, he's in a 2-ball and 1-strike count. No outs. In that black glove, the righty checks the runner. 2-1 pitch. Fastball clicked on the inside corner. Makes it 2-2. Good pitch from Caleb Newman. Well, Newman, a returning pitcher for Bluefield. Played pretty well last year, the senior from Medford, Oregon. Went to Taft College before this. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. First strikeout of the game for Caleb Newman, and Hunter Gray falls to 1 for 2. Barger stays over at second after getting the single and advancing on a pass ball. Andrew Clamforth coming up. Clamforth 0 for 1. He went down looking as Peyton Tennant's only strikeout. So the lefty faces the righty with a runner at second. The pitch swung on, lifted up in the air on a pop-up. Marcus Espinal camps out right near the bag, squeezes to make the catch for out number 2. Well, a good start for Caleb Newman after giving up that single. Gets to retire Andrew Clamforth on 1 pitch. So Isaiah Haley will come up to try to knock in the tying run. It's 4-3, Rams leading, top second. Coming right back up to the plate. Those blue jerseys with the gray pants. Rams in the cream whites today. Already nearly been an hour, and we're just in the top of the second. Newman looking in, the quick kick, and a pitch right down the middle. It's strike 1. That was a good pitch from Caleb Newman. Well, Peyton Tennant just got out of system there when Hunter Gray hit that home run on the 3-1 pitch on the leading at bat of the game. Now the 0-1 swung on and popped up shallow center. Going back is Perez, and he's called off by Castro to make the catch for the final out of the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on second base. Bluefield leading 4-3 when we come back in the Rams Digital Sports Network for the bottom of the second. Heading into the bottom of the second, Bluefield leads 4-3 over this Ohio Christian team after a big-time bottom of the first inning where Bluefield was able to bring in 4 runs. Now starting with a 9-1-2 in the bottom of the second, it'll be Espinal, Castro, and Perez as Logan Webb goes out for his second inning of work. That first pitch by Espinal swung on and driven to deep left, and you can kiss that one goodbye. 1 pitch, 1 homer for Espinal. That's his 4th of the season, and make it 8 RBIs for the second baseman. Make it the third baseman, rather, and now Bluefield with a no-doubter. That might be it for Logan Webb. Already came into this game averaging over 11 runs per game, and now make it 5-3. Going back to the top of the lineup with Bailey Castro. He is 1 for 1. Pitch. Swung on and popped up right over the backstop for strike 1. Castro had a single into left field his last time up. This is a roller that dribbled all the way out to the corner in left field. The 0-1. Drops in. There's strike 2. It's already hitting .458 with 3 RBIs. Now the 0-2. Swung on, popped up, right field side near the first baseman. Rysinga lets it fly, and it hits the concourse near those orange seats. Of course, some of you fans don't know, maybe aren't aware that this is actually a minor league stadium as Webb kicks and fires. It's a fastball high and in for strike 1. Or ball 1, I should say. This is actually the home of the Appalachian League Bluefield Blue Jays. Get their game started right around May. Now the 1-2. Swung on and drilled into center field. Another base hit for Bailey Castro. And on that good little frozen rope there, he will be in for a single. Make it 2 for 2 for Bailey Castro. Bluefield already up 5-3. Can the Rams keep this going? Inning started off with a home run from Marcus Espinal, his second. Here's Jose Perez. He's 0 for 1. Watches the first pitch, and the lefty sees that ball clap into the glove for strike 1. The last time Perez had a pretty hard bouncer over to third base, and Hufford snagged it to throw it over to second. This time, another bouncer over to second base, throw to second. Not in time. He was off of the bag. So Raymond snagged it on the bouncer, threw it to second, and on a hard slide, Bailey Castro is in at second base in scoring position. So Perez on at first with another fielder's choice. Raymond was trying to get the lead runner out, and that would be a very good choice, but did not work out for Ohio Christian on the hard slide from Perez, and Barger was a little too far off the second base bat. So I guess not the best lob from Trevor Raymond either. Josh McGee up to the plate for Bluefield. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Knocked in on the 2 RBI single from Austin Browning. 2 men on, Bluefield leading by 2, 5-3, spin and a pickoff over to second, not in time. Well, Logan Webb on that spin, he has been pretty close to nailing Jose Perez in this game. That was probably his best chance as Barger laid down a pretty convincing tag. Well, he comes set. Ohio Christian dealing with some runners on as that pitch dribbles in the dirt, gets past Haley. Both runners advance on the wild pitch, and Castro slides headfirst into third. Perez just jogs over to second, and Josh McGee with a chance to open it up even more. Bluefield on the board now with 7 hits, and we're just in the bottom of the second with no outs. Inning started off with a home run. Castro got on with a single and a fielder's choice for Perez. Meanwhile, that next pitch just lobbed just a little too far inside for McGee's liking, but instead it goes in for a strike. Count is 1-1 on McGee, who has 5 homers. Pitch, swing and a miss. He just whiffed through that high fastball for strike 2. Well, can the Rams keep up their offensive firepower. Remember, they have to play 14 innings total today. Because of that rain, the doubleheader that was scheduled for Saturday now moved up to today. The 1-2, off speed and in. Count makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still no outs. Ohio Christian had a pretty good stamp on that first inning with the Hunter Gray home run and then 2 more runs after that. But now the Rams have fired back. 2-2 and on a check swing, just nubbed it over towards that first base dugout. That's where the Rams call home this year. After talking with the Bluefield Baseball Commission, they are allowed to be in that Bluefield Blue Jays clubhouse. 2-2. Right down the middle, McGee watched it go for strike 3. So McGee thought it was a little high on that fastball, but instead it will be a backwards K. Well, Austin Browning up to the plate. He knocked in a couple of runs and also scored one. So he's 1 for 1, 2 RBIs, as well as a single. Now a chance with 2 men in scoring position and 1 out, so no double play. Pitch. Browning swings and fouls it off right back towards the umpire. Or strike 1. Got to remember, coming into this game, Browning was just hitting 167 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Another player returning for Bluefield. Castro at third, Perez at second. 0-1. Fastball that just creeps up near the helmet. 1 ball, 1 strike on the righty. Now a pause to give some more game balls in, as well as a quick talking to the pitcher, Logan Webb. Got to see if Bluefield can make Ohio Christian pay for some bad pitching in this one. Rams already sent out a new pitcher for the top of the second with Caleb Newman. That was after Peyton Tennant had a rocky start to open up the game, giving up 3 runs in the top of the first, and then Newman only allowed 1 base runner on a single and then mowed down the next 3 batters. So now the count is 1-1, 1 out, and a quick talking to for Ohio Christian with their entire infield. Inning started out with a home run from Marcus Espinal to make it 5-3. After that, Castro on with a single. Perez knocked on with a fielder's choice after Raymond couldn't silence Castro over at second base. Now both runners in scoring position after a wild pitch from Logan Webb. Rams all on the edge of that dugout. 1-1. Fastball high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Browning once again up in the count. He was the last time he was able to get on base. Wearing number 33, 2-1. Just a bit inside again. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. So we're seeing a pretty good performance out of Bluefield today. The 3-1. Swing and a big whiff from Browning. Wow, he was trying to turn that one down the left field line. Better pitch for Logan Webb. Just in the bottom of the second, Rams have scored 5 runs in this one. It's 5-3. Now the payoff. Little inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Browning moves over to first. Oscar Torres on for his chance to try to knock in some runs. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a big jam for Logan Webb. Torres already with a home run in this one. Pitch. It's high. Hit a 2-run bomb out into left field that scored Austin Browning as well. That gave Bluefield the lead at 4-3. 1-0. Right down the pipe. That evens the count up at 1-1 with a fastball. Long first 2 innings. Rams still enjoying it as we're getting some slight cloud coverage again. 1-1. Swung on and a hard hit ground ball ripping off of the dugout for Ohio Christian and popping up near Mike White. Oh, the breeze going from right to left. Bluefield with a chance now. They just absolutely opened this one up. Just up by 2 runs. Corner infielders in. The pitch in the dirt leaks out down the first baseline. Haley really not in a hurry to get that ball, but now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, first base side with some wind on it. Rysinga finds it in the sky and gloves it to make the catch. So a big break there for Logan Webb, retiring Oscar Torres to make him 1 for 2. And the base is loaded for Bluefield, and that'll bring up Jordan Jackson. Well, Jackson lifted one deep to center his last time. He's got Jordan Ackerman on deck. 2 outs now, bases loaded. Rams lead by 2. It's 5-3. Ackerman a little up in the plate. Pitch. Well, the righty watches it in the dirt and flashes up that white batting glove to tell his teammate Bailey Castro to stay over at third. Well, if Webb is somehow able to get out of this jam, Bluefield really had lost an opportunity here. That fastball goes in high again. 2 balls, no strikes. Logan Webb comes set. Bases loaded. 2-0. Fastball inside. 3 balls, no strikes, and he's just a ball away from walking in Bailey Castro. Castro all with a single. Bluefield has already surrendered a strikeout as well as a pop-out. 3-0. Swung on and drilled left center field. Skoronski looking up, and that ball will hit the track and bounce off the wall. Another run scores for Perez. Trotting in is Browning. Throw to third, not in time. And a 3-run triple for Jordan Jackson puts Bluefield up 8-3. Castro easily able to trot in. Perez was on his horse. Austin Browning scored all the way from first, and Bluefield opens it up. A lot of courage there for Jordan Jackson to turn on a 3-0 pitch. And a huge triple for Bluefield. 8-3 they lead, and Jordan Ackerman, well, he plunked one off the wall his last time. Well, Ackerman, the center fielder, the first pitch. Swung on, popped up on the left field side. Skoronski on his horse into foul territory, and it just bounces on the warning track and into the parking lot for the first strike of the at-bat. This is already the 8th batter we've seen in this lineup, or in this inning. No balls, 1 strike, a pair of 4-run innings for Bluefield. Ackerman, that last he had back in the first inning where he was eventually left on base, it was just a routine pop-up, but Bluefield got a little bit of wind to help it, and the ball just dented the left field wall. Now he has Jackson over at third. The pitch on the lefty watches the fastball go high and outside. Count evens at 1-1. Ackerman just standing at 5-7. 1-1. Another fastball that's way out of the zone. Oh, the lefty up 2-1 in the count. Jordan Jackson with a big triple. Pitch. It's a bit outside, and the count is 3-1. So the past few batters, Logan Webb has gotten further and further down in the counts. On Jackson, he was down 3-0. 3-1 offering. Outside corner, Ackerman was ready to sprint over to first base, but instead he'll go right back into that left batter's box. Oh, Webb looking into his battery mate Haley. Comes set, payoff. Outside corner, strike 3 called, and now the inning finally ends. But Bluefield puts up 4 runs after the big 3-run triple from Ackerman, and Marcus Espinal with the leadoff home run to start out the bottom of the second. Moving into the third, Rams lead by 5. It's 8-3. Headed to the third inning now. Rams up 8-3 after a big bottom of the second. Well, the first pitch from Caleb Newman goes to Sean Parlee, the left-handed batting catcher, and he watches it go outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Parlee grounded out to second to end the top of the first as that pitch is swung on, popped up to deep left. And it is caught out in the outfield by McGee. That's Isaiah Haley, rather. So Haley flies out, and now Bluefield still up by 5. It's 8-3. Ethan Skoronsky will come up. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. So Caleb Newman came in the second inning, gave up a hit to start off. And rather, that was Skoronsky that flew out over to left field. And now in, it's Ian Rysinga. So now we've started out in the 3 and now moving. It's 4, 5, 6 in this inning. The pitch, Rysinga watches it go on the inside corner. Rysinga walked in his first plate appearance and came in to score. Now the 1-1. Check swing, and it's called a strike anyway. Caleb Newman on that big frame, already dealing for Bluefield. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Long kick. The pitch swung on and poked into right field. There's a base hit for Rysinga. Rysinga will stay at first with a single, and Hayden Hufford will come up. Hufford also walked by Peyton Tennant back in the first inning where Bluefield ended up surrendering 3 runs. Well, Hufford, the third baseman. Bluefield hoping to turn a double play here, already leading 8-3. And quite a long first inning here at Bowen. Coming set, Newman with a runner at first. He deals. Swung on and stroked out to left field. McGee just trots back, settles down, and makes the catch in the sunlight for out number 2. Going back to first is Rysinga, and now Hufford is retired for the first time today. So Newman bringing some consistency as the righty. Peyton Tennant, that lefty, just on that quick little delivery. Looked like Ohio Christian had him figured out with Hunter Gray's big home run to start out the game, but then after that, Bluefield gave up a few more runs, but still, they really powered back in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Logan Hill. First pitch is a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Got a game tomorrow if you fans, anybody listening in, can try to come out to Bowen Field. Well, we'll conclude this series at 1 o'clock. Now the 0-1. Swung on and slapped down the right field side. It's a pop-up, and it will go on top of that awning on the orange seats. Makes it 0-2 with 2 outs. We're in the top of the third. Well, Newman working from the stretch just a little bit quicker on his delivery. Eyeing the runner at first base. Kick and pitch. And an off speed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ohio Christian, after jumping out to the 3-0 lead, they've surrendered 8 unanswered runs. Newman with the 1-2. In the dirt, Parlee lets it go off his chest guard, rolls right out in front of him. It's just ball 2 as Rysinga will stay over at first base. Well, the sun moving over towards the right side, trying to get it to set. It started out, it was blinding here on the third baseline press box. Newman with the 2-2. Right down the middle, watched, and there is his second strikeout of the game. So Hill goes down looking, and after just 1 hit, the Rams able to leave him on base and head into the bottom of the third, leading 8-3. Now in the bottom of the third inning here at Bowen Field, the Rams up on top 8-3 over Ohio Christian. They will send out a new pitcher after 2 innings of Logan Webb, where he surrenders 8 runs on a couple of big homers, and then that big extra base hit from Jordan Jackson that cleared the bases on a triple when it was bases loaded. So now for Tyler France, the junior, he will come in as a righty and face off against the 8-9-1 Parley, Espinal, and Bailey Castro, all for Bluefield. So far on the year, Tyler France, a pretty good ERA at 2.08. He's only pitched 8 2/3 innings, though. 8 hits, 7 runs, only 2 earned. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And he's only allowed 1 extra base hit, and that was a double. Sean Parley will come to the plate. He is grounded out to second. That ended the first inning. Then Marcus Espinal got the second inning started off with a big crack over the left field wall. And then Bailey Castro is 2 for 2 with a run scored. Mike White in his 11th year as the head coach of Bluefield College and his 2nd year as the full-time athletic director for BC. Facing off against Ohio Christian, where Bluefield played them last year. Ohio Christian was a little bit more talented now, but they are 2-6. Now, in game 1 of a doubleheader, find themselves down by 5. Can't really ask for a better day for 2 games, folks, especially in February. You got to think Bluefield College plays in such a cold climate in February. I mean, here in the Appalachian Mountains, it just seemed like 2 weeks ago there was nothing but snow for days on end. And then you get into the end of February, and all of a sudden it's warm. And me and my cameraman, Stevie Collier, here are just on the verge of getting some pretty bad sunburn on the first real day of spring, about a month before it's supposed to start. Well, France with that over-the-head delivery. Throw down to second from Haley, and we are just about ready to get started with the bottom of the third. Rams have scored 4 runs in each of the first 2 innings on 8 hits. Ohio Christian has 5 hits in this one. But Caleb Newman, after he has came in since the 2nd inning, he's pitched 2 pretty great innings for BC. So after a quick little meeting from Ohio Christian's infielders, the Rams are ready to get started with the bats again. Parley, Espinal, and Bailey Castro, all 2 up for Bluefield. First pitch to Parley. Thinks about it, but the catcher lays off the fastball on that first pitch. Ball 1. 8-3, Rams up by 5. The 1-0. Once again, just inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And for Bluefield, they really responded well after giving up 3 runs in that top of the first inning. Now the 2-0 swung on and driven up in the air on a foul ball. Right single will just watch it hit right off of that cement near the Coppinger room here at Bowen Field. It's a little banquet room that Bluefield Blue Jays fans are allowed to host parties in. 2-1. Well, the fastball creeps up high. 3 balls in, 1 strike. Well, every pitch that Parley sees, he takes that left foot and tries to stride into it. The 3-1. Swung on and fouled back. Makes the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. A little bit of shadow starting to creep out in center field near the batter's eye. So the center fielder parked out near that batter's eye, Gray, has a little bit more shade. Payoff pitch is a fastball, and now Sean Parley will walk over to first. First time he's allowed to be on base today, and Marcus Espinal will come up. Espinal with that really big drive, his last time up. Junior from Danbury, Connecticut, went to Monroe College in the Bronx of New York. He went 2 for 4 in the last game against Bruton Parker. Now the third baseman already has a home run. Runner at first, 8-3 Bluefield up. The pitch swung on and a little bouncer down the third baseline. Foul, as Hufford will chase it down. Third straight inning where the Bluefield College Rams have allowed their first runner to get on base, or first batter to get on base of each inning. 0-1 count. Ohio Christian has not been able to turn two on some of these balls that sneak up towards the middle. 0-1 runner going right down the middle. Throw to second. Hops past the glove of Raymond and sliding in with the steal. It will be Sean Parlee. And it looked like that was going to be a strike. Well, a huge stolen base, though. Now a runner in scoring position, and you can just wipe off that double playoff. And rather, it will be called a ball there. Looked like it was pretty close. The count is now at 1-1 for Espinal. No outs. The pitch. Low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. No outs, a runner at second base. Espinal just waving that bat, waiting for the pitch from Tyler France in his first inning of work. 2-1. Swung on, ground ball over to short, snagged by Barger. Throw to first, in the dirt, off of the glove of Ricinga. Coming in to score is Parlee, and Bluefield will have another run. Espinal at first, getting on with likely an error there from the shortstop. That was a low throw from Barger. And they're going to score that as a hit. Rather an error. E6. Bailey Castro up to the plate, and now France stares down over at Marcus Espinal. 9-3, though, Bluefield up. Pitch in the dirt. One ball, no strikes. Castro's already reached a couple of times today. He got on his last time, though, after the triple from Jordan Jackson cleared the bases. 1-0. Inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the Rams really putting it on. They've scored all 9 runs unanswered. As the shortstop strides into it, doesn't swing, and the ball just drops in near his feet. Six-run lead for the Rams. No outs, 3-0. Just a bit outside. It had the right height on it, but Castro on with a walk. So the pitching woes continue for Ohio Christian. I'm going to bring up Jose Perez, the second baseman. He's reached a couple of times on Fielder's Choices. He scored on each of them. 9-3 Rams lead as the lefty comes up to the plate with no outs and 2 men on. 1 at second and 1 at first. Long kick and the pitch. Inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Perez. There's another game right after this with the wind starting to blow now. The 1-0. Swung on, ground ball through the hole into right field. And now Espinal rolls towards home. Throw to the plate, not in time. Rolls past Haley. And now Bluefield leads by 7. It's 10-3. Jose Perez on at second with an RBI single. And Castro all the way over at third. Still no outs. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So taking a break here. 10-3, Rams lead by 7. We're just in the bottom of the third with no outs. Are we going to put that air up on the board? So no pitching change. Tyler France will stay on the mound. Bluefield with 2 men on in scoring position. It's been a good inning for Bluefield so far. Partly got on with a walk and then came around to score. Marcus Espinal on as that pitch is swung on and belted into left field from Josh McGee. Easily scoring from third will be Castro. On to third goes Jose Perez, and Bluefield leads 11-3. Couldn't even give you the recap. The Rams are just letting it fly here as McGee has an RBI. Make it 2 for 3. RBI and a run scored for Josh McGee. Runners on the corner, still no outs. Bluefield leads 11-3. Just in the bottom of the third, here comes Austin Browning, who's having one heck of a game himself. 2 RBIs on a single, got on with a walk, and 2 runs scored. The pitch swung high in the air down the left field side. Skoronski chasing into foul territory, and that just drops near the parking lot. Oh, Browning just came into this game batting at 167, and so far his bat has had a lot of pop at Bowen Field. They're playing game 1 of a doubleheader, 2 7-inning contests here. Count at 0-1 for Austin Browning. Runners on the corners. Pitch. Right down the middle. Count is at 0-2. First inning of work for Tyler France has been tough. He has not recorded an out yet after replacing Logan Webb. 0-2. Fastball high and inside on the first baseman, and the righty just jumps back. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Prez on at third. McGee at first with an RBI. 1-2 deal. Outside, clipping in the dirt. Haley snagged it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Browning has to defend the plate. 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. He got him on the off-speed pitch, and Browning is retired for the first out for Tyler France. Keeps the runners at bay on the corners, though. Bluefield with a chance again with Oscar Torres, who is 1 for 2 with a home run. Torres really opened it up with that 2-run bomb back in the first inning. That gave Bluefield their first lead of the game at 4-3. Now they're up 11-3. Pitch. Right down the middle. And just a bit outside, rather. A little hard to tell here on this third base side. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Tried to stride into it, but the fastball goes high and outside. 2 balls. And no strikes as we see a little conference here from Hayden Hufford. Finally getting some breeze. Sun starts to set right near that batting facility on the first base side. Two balls, no strikes. The pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow center. Charging in is Gray. He will let it drop for a base hit. Coming in to score is Jose Perez. And now Bluefield leads 12-3. Josh McGee on at second base easily. And Oscar Torres with another RBI. Make that 3 for the DH. Rams really putting it on. Still just 1 out. Jordan Jackson, his last time up, he smacked one out into center field for a 3-run triple. And folks, he was on his horse trying to get to third base. Slid in head first. Already 3 RBIs way up in the box against the righty Tyler France. France with a pitch. Inside. Still just 1 out. 1 ball and no strikes. Ohio Christian has to come back a long ways, already down by 9 as France deals another. A fastball that goes high. Count now at 2-0. Well, Mike White has to be impressed with his team's offense after a pretty tough top of the first inning, where Peyton Tennant led up 3 runs. Bluefield has scored 12 unanswered. 2-0. Check swing and a foul ball that just ricochets right off that netting behind him. Makes the count at 2-1. Jackson right back to the plate. It'll be a long day for the Trailblazers. Kick and the 2-1. Swung on, line drive, center field, and that one will be extra bases for sure as Jackson is on his way over to second. Charging in is Torres. The throw not even close, and Jackson has 2 triples today. Make it 5 RBIs for the right fielder from New Jersey, and Bluefield now leads 14-3. What an absolute monster showing for the Rams. And Jackson, the first couple of triples of the season for him. 12 hits for the Rams. And now Ackerman will be the 9th of the inning. Now Ackerman, the left-handed center fielder, watches the fastball go high. He's 1 for 2 with a double as well as a strikeout looking. That ended the second inning. This has been the biggest inning for Bluefield so far with 6 runs. 0-1, swung on and popped up over this press box on the third base side to make it 0-2. So the first batter of the inning was Sean Parlee. Count, no balls, 2 strikes. Ackerman in the shade. The pitch. Swung on and popped over into left field. Another base hit. Ackerman with an RBI, and now he is gallivanting all the way over to second. And now Bluefield leads 15-3 because Jackson is easily able to score. They have now batted around after Ackerman is on with an RBI double. Well, he just poked that one. And for France, he has allowed 7 runs. Possibly seeing a pitching change here. We already saw a little conference, and now the catcher moving out towards the mound. It has been a rough inning now for this Ohio Christian team. Well, we're seeing a little grouping, and we will see a pitcher's change. So Tyler France just makes it a third of an inning, and Bluefield leads 15-3. Bringing out a new pitcher, and it looks like for the Trailblazers, it will be Will Sutton, the freshman from Xenia, Ohio. We're going to let him warm up, and we'll tell you more about him when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Rams lead 15-3 with 1 out in the bottom of the third. Sean Parlee comes up for Bluefield, facing off with Will Sutton, the freshman right-handed pitcher. To Temple Christian as his last school has a long kick, and the catcher watches the fastball just graze in the dirt. Parlee is batting for the second time here in the bottom of the third. Got to remember, this is already just a 7-inning game. The Rams have scored 7 runs with just 1 out accounted for from Tyler France. Ackerman on at third. Pitch. Parley just watches it drop inside. Well, Bluefield thought they were going to have a rough go of it after surrendering 3 runs in the top of the first. Since then, though, they have scored 15 unanswered. Pitch. Swing and a miss from Parley. Makes it 2-1. So we already have seen the 3rd pitcher now in for Ohio Christian. And for Sutton, this is his collegiate debut. Wearing number 37 on the mound as that pitch was fouled off over on the third base side. Sun continuing to set nearly under those trees on the right field side. 2-2. Parley watches it go just a bit outside. Ball 3. Ackerman got on with a double, then advanced over to third. Kick and the payoff. Parley swings and pops it up in a deep right field. Converging on it are Hill and Gray will make the catch, but easily tagging in will be Ackerman to score another run. So a sacrifice fly for Parley, and now Bluefield leads 16-3 in this one. So the only 2 outs in the 3rd inning have been from Parley on that sacrifice fly, and then a strikeout swinging from Austin Browning. Now the Rams lead by 13. And it brings us to Marcus Espinal, who reached on an error. Pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. He grounded one over to the shortstop, over to Barger. Barger picked it out through to first, and it just hopped away from Rysinga. 1-0. Another an off-speed pitch that just drops in on the inside corner to make it 1-1. Two outs already. Long kick in the dirt. And that's something we're seeing out of Sutton, playing in his first collegiate game with Ohio Christian. But you see how he has that long kick as his knee almost hits his chin and then fires away with the right hand. Count at 2-1. Shadow starting to creep out in right field. 2-1. It's big cut and a miss from Espinal. Well, Espinal, we already have seen a home run smoked off of Logan Webb back in the 2nd inning. Let off things well. Webb only went 2 innings. And then for France, he only went a 3rd. Here we are, though, 2 outs and a strike away from ending this 3rd inning. Pitch. Espinal thinks about it, but the ball just grazes through the dirt on the right side and loads up the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Have another game right after this. Game 1 of a doubleheader, but the Rams already putting a stamp on game 1, 16-3. Payoff. Swung on and popped up on the right side, and we'll just curve over that dugout. Not a lot of fans in attendance today because you got to think about all these Bluefield College Rams baseball players. A ton of them come from the West Coast, so it might be a little hard for some of these fans to make the trip out. Payoff, little high. Espinal held off on a slight check swing. Now Espinal will first base. So he reaches for the 3rd time today, and now Bailey Castro will bat for the 2nd time in the 3rd inning. Still 2 outs, 16-3, Rams on top. Pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Third base side, snagged by Hufford. Throw across the diamond, not in time as it bounced into the glove of Rysinga, but still an athletic play, and it will be counted as a hit for Bailey Castro. And Castro really just swinging away there. And that was a good play by Hufford, because if he doesn't make that backhanded grab down the 3rd baseline, could be extra bases. But Bluefield with 2 men on now and 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd, leading by 13. Rams have scored 16 runs on 14 hits. Now the lefty Jose Perez goes back in on that left batter's box. First pitch, skips in the dirt and hops into the glove of Haley. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch. The fastball just rises up high. 2 balls and no strikes yet. Perez came into this game batting at .429 with 7 RBIs. There are actually 4 Rams batting over the 400 mark headed into this one. Having a good season at 6-1. 2-0. Swung on and just tipped off of the bat and bouncing hard over into the dugout. Well, the benefit of that long game, we will still see most of the game in the shade as the sun is starting to creep down again. 2-1. Perez inches over towards it, doesn't commit on a swing. And that outside pitch on the lefty makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. Espinal at second. Runner at first is Castro, and the pitch went inside on the 3-1, so another time we will see bases loaded. This has been a nightmarish game for Ohio Christian. Second walk already seen here by Sutton. That brings up Josh McGee. He had an RBI single his last time and 2 runs scored. Makes him 2 for 3. This is already his 4th trip to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Rams lead by 13. Pitch. Outside. So Josh McGee coming out of Louisiana, Hammond, Louisiana to be exact. It's been the big bat for Bluefield. Today, a couple of singles. Next pitch is high but called a strike. Makes it 1-1. We've seen homers in this game both from Espinal and Browning. Or Espinal and Torres, I should say. 1-1. Swung on and poked down the third base line as it will ricochet near that bullpen. They normally have a beer garden for Bluefield Blue Jays games. Actually, quite a big story when they allowed alcohol to be served at this stadium for Bluefield Blue Jays just a few years ago. On the 1-2. In the dirt. So McGee up in the count. Or rather, the count is all knotted up at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Just in the bottom of the third, the Rams have put up 8 runs. Next pitch. High and outside, a full count. They're on the 14th batter of this inning. Payoff, runners going. Swung on and cracked back foul. Right over the backstop. So everybody's going no matter what. It's the bases loaded. 2 outs. Everything's full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, as well as the bases. Pitch. High and outside, ball 4, and another run will score for Bluefield. Make that 9 runs. Scored already. Castro will go to third. Perez to second. McGee on with a base on balls at first. And Austin Browning will come up to the plate with the bases loaded after Marcus Espinal comes in to score. We might see another pitching change. Sutton on the mound looking at his coach. And Michael Blevins might have to make a decision here. (17-3), Rams lead by 14. We've already seen 4 pitchers today for Ohio Christian. And the Rams bringing in a pinch hitter as Austin Browning was scheduled to bat. Instead, it'll be Hector Mosqueda. Now looking up about Mosqueda here on this beautiful Friday afternoon in Bluefield. Coming out of the Bronx, New York. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. Sutton, right off that mound visit, delivers a curveball right into the inside corner for strike 1. And this is the first at-bat of the year for Hector Mosqueda. That next pitch goes in on the outside corner, so Sutton with a couple of hard strikes against Mosqueda to start out this at-bat. Pitch. Hit him. So after he went up 0-2 in the count, he plunks him right in the calf. Castro will score. Perez over to third. McGee to second. And now Mosqueda on at first base. And the inning continues. 10 runs for Bluefield here in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. 18-3 they lead. Oscar Torres back up to the plate. Well, his first pitch with the bases loaded. He watches it go outside. He's got a home run as well as a single. That was a 2-run shot back in the first inning. A couple of runs scored for him. The 1-0. High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The freshman Sutton still struggling to get anything across the plate here. Bases all loaded up off of walks and hit by pitches. Bluefield with 14 hits in this one, 18 runs as that pitch just sailed outside. The field light starting to pop on. 3-0. Inside and low. And that's ball 4. Another run for the Rams, 19-3. Perez trots in to score. McGee over to third. Mosqueda to second. And now Torres coming in. And we have yet another pitching change. So he only gets 1 out. Sutton's day is done. So Bluefield leads 19-3. 2 outs, and we have seen now into our third pitcher in this third inning. I'm going to tell you who it is when we come back on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield leads 19-3. Alex Perkins in as a batter with the bases loaded. On the first pitch, he sends it deep into left center or right center field, and it will be an extra base hit. Runs all scoring. Perkins trotting all the way over to third, and that's a bases clearing triple from Perkins. Now the Rams absolutely ripping apart Ohio Christian. It is 22-3. And rather, that was Nick Meadows on the bases clearing triple. We had it wrong on the scoreboard, as now Bluefield sends their freshman from Christiansburg a big bases clearing triple. And it's funny, Jordan Jackson was batting in that spot. He did that the last time he was up as well. Caleb Wood now hitting for the Rams, coming out of Anton, New Mexico. 2-0. Swung on and popped up. And in all that commotion, didn't really get to talk about who was pitching. New man in is Logan Harris. Feels another fastball on the outside corner, makes it 2-2. The Rams have nearly batted around twice. 2-2. High and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. 15 hits for the Rams. They've scored 14 runs here in this inning. It finally ends as Wood goes down on strikes. Bluefield putting up 14 runs in the bottom of the third. They lead 22-3, and luckily for Ohio Christian, this might be able to go just 5 innings today. Rams on top by 19 runs here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, headed into the top of the fourth. Mosquea is on as the first baseman now for Bluefield. The Rams lead 22-3 over Ohio Christian. Caleb Newman still on the mound. His first pitch goes just a little inside. It was a tough inning for the Trailblazers. The Rams put up 14 runs. Now we're headed into the top of the fourth. It will be the 8-9-1, and Trevor Raymond is on to bat here. And once again, now we have a pinch hitter. Eric Reinhardt now in, batting in the place of Trevor Raymond. Pitch. Raymond watches it go high and outside. Rather, that's Reinhardt, but still, on the season, haven't seen that much out of some of these people that Ohio Christian has thrown out today. The pitch. And he watches it go inside for ball 4. So for Reinhardt, he was batting just 143 going into that at-bat. And that was his 3rd walk of the season. So man on, and now pinch hitter, or a pinch runner coming in, I should say. And Trevor Raymond comes back into the game to run for Eric Reinhardt. Brandon Barger back up the shortstop. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Wind starting to roll in with the sun going down, and Barger watches a fastball go right down the middle. Count at 0-1. Rams certainly have to be proud of how well they have batted in this one. 22 unanswered runs. The 0-1. High and inside. First game of a doubleheader. Right after this, we do have another 7-inning game. The Rams likely, though, after batting one more time and then going to the field one more time, if we don't see anything out of Ohio Christian, this could end in 5 innings. 1-1. Barger swings and slaps it over the backstop. Now the count is at 1-2. A tough game so far to digest for Ohio Christian. And you saw going into the 3rd inning, the Rams only led 8-3 and then put up 14 straight runs. Batted around nearly twice. The 1-2. Swung on and stroked on a foul ball out to right field, and the ball will just hook on top of that big batting facility. So the Rams started out this game down 3-0. Peyton Tennant, the lefty, came in and surrendered 3 runs. The first batter of the game, Hunter Gray, actually sent it out of here towards left field. As Barger swings, pops it up, foul ball, right side, right towards that dugout, and it hits near the blue field side hard. So Hunter Browning still in as the catcher for the Rams. Or Austin Browning, not in actually, as Joseph Cardona is the catcher for Bluefield. 1-2. Swung on and poked into center field. Charging up is Ackerman, and he slides for the catch. And that's Caleb Wood, actually. And Caleb Wood chasing it down. What a play. Staying on at first will be Raymond, and Barger is retired. Going back towards the top of the lineup, it will be Hunter Gray again. So both Caleb Wood and Trevor Ackerman pretty slight in stature. As Gray watches the fastball go inside, makes it count 1-0. Bluefield has made a ton of substitutions. Over at short, still is, looks to be Bailey Castro. Second, Perez. The pitch inside. Count at 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Rams looking for a doubleheader to send this into the bottom of the 4th. They already lead 22-3. Likely to move to 7-1 on the year. The pitch high and in. Makes it 3 balls, no strikes. Eric Reinhardt was walked, and Trevor Raymond is the pinch runner over at first base. 3-0 to Gray. Inside and low, and that'll be the second walk of the inning for Caleb Newman. The Rams really with an exclamation point to start out this series, with already a doubleheader in the books, or scheduled for today. Rams lead by 19. 2 runners on for Ohio Christian, though. The pitch just outside. And Andrew Clamforth trying to get on base for the first time today. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking. That was the only strikeout for Peyton Tennant. And then popped up over to the third baseman, Marcus Espinal, back in the 2nd inning. That ended the top of the 2nd. Pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. Well, Newman on that off speed has worked well. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Ohio Christian only with 2 wins so far this season. One. Swung on and popped up foul. Third base side with a little bit of air on it. No diving grab there to be made by Bluefield. Out in left field, Josh McGee had a chance at it, just slid his feet first, and the Rams will have to rely on their pitcher to end this at bat. One ball, two strikes. The pitch swung on, line drive, shallow left. McGee will let it drop for a base hit. It goes behind him. Here comes Raymond trying to go home, and the ball will hop into Bailey Castro. But McGee misplayed that base hit. And then now the run will score from Trevor Raymond. And now it is 22-4. So Hunter Gray over to second. And they will just call it a hit, no error. He would likely have scored on the hit anyway. So Clamp on the RBI single. And now the pitch on driven deep by Isaiah Haley going back Wood. He'll make the catch about 5 feet in front of the warning track. Hunter Gray pull out, slides easily into third. And that was a productive Isaiah Haley. And Haley looked like he tried to pit. He thought that ball was way out of here. And with his confidence, kind of wrapped up in it as well. But instead it lands about 15 feet in front of the left field wall. And really, if you're down by 18 runs, you probably should try to pip a homer. Either way, even if rushed it 450 feet. Ethan Skoronsky up. Pitch. Just a bit outside. One ball, no strikes. Skoronsky 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Now the pitch. Swung on, line drive into center field, hopping into the glove of Wood. Gray will eat score, and now it's 22-5. Now Ohio Christian starting to find the hits. Clamforth over to second. Skoronsky with an RBI. Make that 2 singles for him. And Newman is just starting to slack just a tad bit. So still 2 outs. Pitch. Just a bit outside on Ian Ricinga. It's been a long game. Nearly 2 hours, and we are just in the top of the 4th. Rams still had 2 outs, though. 2 runners on. Ricinga with a single as well as a walk and a run scored. It'll be a 1-0. Fastball drops low and away. And with 2 outs, you got to think that Newman just wants to get out of this inning. It has been such a long one for Bluefield. They had another game to play. 2-0. Inside corner on Ricinga, and now count will be at 2-1. Two runners on. Clamforth at second, Skoronsky at first. Pitch from Newman. Swung on and fouled off, and the count evens at 2-2. Oh, some ducks flying overhead. We don't see that many clouds in sight anymore. The sun's starting to set near that right field side. Starting to tan the tops of the trees without the foliage on them. And the Rams lead 22-5. Quiet afternoon at the ballpark now after the Rams really lit it up in the first 3 innings. Newman taking his time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roxanne delivers. Ricinga just taps it foul down the third baseline and into the Ohio Christian dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Newman, since he came in that second inning, boy, it's been a different story for Ohio Christian. 2-2. Rysinga stares at it, but the off-speed pitch just drops onto the right side of the plate. A little low for Joseph Cardona to frame up. The count now at 3-2. Count's full. Newman looking at the 2 runners on base. Another payoff. Swung on, hit on a bounce into the hole in left field. That will load up the bases. Is now Clamforth will stay at third. On at second is Skoronsky and Rysinga over at first. So the Rams still with a lot of cushion, leading 22-5. Rysinga on with his second single of the game. Hayden Hufford will try to find his first hit here. Hufford walked back in the first inning and also flew out to left field back in the third for the second out. Meanwhile, the third baseman was also left on base back in the second. Back in the third, I should say. Bases loaded. They trail by 17. Can they make it a little bit closer? Pitch. In the dirt. Hufford just keeps his hand up, though, to keep Clamforth over at third base. It was a good snag from Cardona. 1 ball and no strikes. Already seen a good snag in this inning by Caleb Wood out in center. The 1-0. Swung on, stroked into right field, charging over, and the catch will be made by the Rams to end the inning, so they leave the bases loaded. And after 2-run score for Ohio Christian, it is 22-5, headed to the bottom of the fourth. Joseph Cardona will lead off for Bluefield in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead 22-5 over Ohio Christian. Bailey Engel, the voice of the Bluefield College Rams, on the call for you here, as the Rams have absolutely stroked every pitch that Ohio Christian has thrown out, seemingly. Logan Harris on for his first full inning of work. Rams sending out the 6th batter in the lineup. A lot of substitutions. Rather, their 8th batter in the lineup, Espinal on deck. As he comes in for Parlee, he's the new catcher, Cardona. Count is at 1-1. The pitch drops outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cardona on the year just hitting 167. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Some of these off-speed pitches we're seeing from the freshman Harris have really messed up Cardona. Coming from Arecibo, Puerto Rico. Now the 2-2. Cardona swings and misses at a pitch, and he will go in towards the dugout. First time for Bluefield that they have not allowed their leadoff man to get on base. Espinal now on. He is 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored, a homer, as well as reaching on an error. And for Espinal creeping way up into the box, the Rams have just rolled with this game. The entire staff for Ohio Christian has really came out here. So the next pitch goes inside on the righty, Marcus Espinal. So it's a righty-to-righty matchup. And Harris on the year has only played in one other game, only pitched 1 inning. First pitch goes high, or second pitch rather, 2 balls, no strikes. He's allowed 2 runs on the year. Both of them were not earned, and it was only 1 hit. Has 2 strikeouts and a double allowed. 2-0 creeps high and inside on Espinal, who limbos out of the way. So the mercy ruling could be in effect in the next inning if the Rams are able to get 3 straight outs. Leading now by 17, 3-0. Espinal watches it go high and outside, ball 4, and that is the second straight time the third baseman for Bluefield has been walked. He reaches for the 4th time today. Back to the top of the lineup with Bailey Castro. Castro's had a pretty busy day. Singled a few times and has scored 3 times. Back up to the plate, the shortstop. Pitch. Inside. If you're just now joining us, the Rams scored 14 runs in the bottom of the third, 4 runs in the second. He's 4 in the first. They were down 3-0 going into the bottom of the first, and since then have scored 22 unanswered runs. The 1-0. Swung on, hit high in the air, down the left field line, and that one might be out of here. Castro lifts it out, and that is his first home run of the year. It was so close to being foul, but it just crept just about 5 feet away from the foul pole, and now the Rams lead 24-5. So the Rams now up after it sounded like that was an intentional siren, but it seems like that was just a motorcycle in the background. First pitch to Jose Perez is just grounded down the first base line. 24-5 now. Just 1 out. Pitch. Swung on and a good drive. Charged into center field. Gray right on it, though, who squeezes the glove to make the catch. (24-5). The Rams lead by 19. 16 runs, and we have another game after this. Home runs from Espinal, Bailey Castro, as well as Oscar Torres. Josh McGee eyeing that pitcher. It has been such a long game. The pitch in the dirt. And for Ohio Christian, you might just have to scrap everything from this game. 1 ball and no strikes. McGee is up to the plate again. This is his 5th appearance at the plate. Couple of singles, an RBI, 3 runs scored, as well as a walk. The 1-0. Swung on and absolutely drilled down the left field line. That one is way out of here. Josh McGee with his 6th home run of the season. And now it is 25-5. Mike White with a fist bump over at third base. And Josh McGee, in his first year as a Bluefield College Ram, sends a no-doubter about 50 feet beyond the left field wall. Wow. 20-run lead for Bluefield. Now, once again, coming up, it'll be Hector Mosquea, the first baseman. Pitch. Mosquea is 0 for 1, but this time he grounds it over on the third base side, foul. No balls, 1 strike. Ohio Christian just has to come back out, and they're down by 20. This is the third time, or the second time the Rams have scored over 20 runs in a game this year. The 0-1. Outside. An absolute rout of Ohio Christian. They scored 29 runs on February 3rd against Piedmont International. The 1-1. Swung on and slapped over to short. Gloved cleanly by Barger. Lobs to first in time. And that is it for the day. Rams score some more runs in that one. Couple of big homers from Bailey Castro as well as Josh McGee. They lead by 20. It's 25-5. Headed into the 5th inning. Rams just need 3 outs to seal it up against Ohio Christian. Into the top of the 5th inning, Rams lead 25-5. It has been an all-out hitting party today for Bluefield. And now on the mound making his 2018 debut, Morel Martin, right-handed pitcher, wearing number 5 in this one. He's going up against a new batter for Ohio Christian. Logan Hill was originally batting in this hole, but now it will be Hunter Holtz, freshman outfielder from Liberty Township, Ohio. 1-0 drops outside, makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Bluefield put up 4 runs in the first, 4 more in the second, 14 in the bottom of the third, and then 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0. Swung on and tapped foul down the third baseline. We're in game one of a doubleheader. We have a few more hours after this. Two balls, one strike, and for Ohio Christian, this has been flat-out pitching nightmare. Another pitch goes outside from Morel Martin. Junior coming from Chicago, Illinois, into Morgan Park High School. 3-1. Swung on and tapped over to second, fielded by Perez, lobs to first, caught by Mosquea, and that is the first out of the fifth inning. And even for Ohio Christian losing by 20 runs, they have been able to get the leadoff man on in 3 of the 5 innings. 1 out, Martin trying to seal this up. Pitch. Now in to play for, or to bat now, it's Trevor Raymond. So Raymond was subbed out. Eric Reinhardt came in, got the walk. Raymond came on to pinch run and now bats again. As the pitch goes inside, makes the count 2 balls and no strikes. There's 1 out. Bluefield has a couple more chances here. 2 outs to try to seal up this game 1 victory. Pitch. Swung on and popped up on a foul. Got a game tomorrow as well. That will be played at 1 o'clock. Closing out the series, and we will have a game likely about half an hour after the conclusion of this one. Take a quick break. Rams leading 25-5, top of the 5th, 2-1. Inside corner, strike 2. Well, Michael Blevins nodding his head over at third base. The head coach of this Ohio Christian team, it has just not been their game. 2-2. Swung on and popped up down the right field line, chasing in foul territory. No catch there on a sliding effort from Nick Meadows. Evens the count, though, at 2-2. Well, 1 out. Rams softball also opening up his series against Piedmont International tomorrow. A pretty quiet Bowen Field, 2-2. Outside. Just a little outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. This likely will not go into the record books as one of the greatest games of all time at Bowen Field, but I'm sure the Blue Jays have played some bad ones as well. Raymond serves it out to right field. Meadows doesn't have to move and makes the catch for out number 2. Blue Jays or the Rams. As Stevie Collier's giving me a little bit of a comeback there. I was talking about, well, the Blue Jays have played here longer than the Rams have, for Blue Jays and Orioles. We've had a lot of baseball, nearly 60 years at Bowen Field. There's probably been some games that have crept out to 20-run leads. Could be the last at-bat of the game for Ohio Christian. Brandon Barger, the shortstop, 1 for 2 with a single, and he flew out to center. Barger watches the fastball go high. Well, last time Barger hit it, it was caught on a slide out there by Caleb Wood, the center fielder. 1-0. Fastball right down Broadway. Makes the count 1-1. Well, Kyle Harris to get the start in game 2 for Bluefield. See what the righty can do. The 1-1. Fastball just missing outside. Count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Rams lead 25-5. Now at dusk in Bluefield, Virginia, the 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, the Rams scored 22 unanswered. Now the 3-1 swung on, grounded over to short, gloved by Castro, whips to first in time, and Bluefield wraps up the 5th inning. And it looks like the mercy rule will not be in effect, so we will play to 7. Here's 25-5 going into the bottom of the 5th. Well, the game continues. Oscar Torres back up to the plate. Rams lead by 20. It's 25-5. Going into the bottom of the 5th. And that first pitch, a curveball outside. Still on the mound for Ohio Christian. Logan Harris, the freshman. Next pitch to Torres, a little high and outside. Torres has had a good day. A home run back in the 1st inning. There's a run scored as well as 2 RBIs as he knocked in Austin Browning as well. A single, a run scored. And then he was able to score again in the 3rd inning after being walked. Meanwhile, he's up in a 3-0 count now. The Rams have now their 5-6-7 due up. Watched high and outside, a walk. 1 ball or rather 4 straight balls from Logan Harris. Torres goes over to first, the DH, and now Jordan Jackson was slated in this, and it's Nick Meadows. Pitch to Meadows is a little high. He already has a bases clearing triple in this one. He's just a freshman, and actually, Nick Meadows and I came across each other last year when he was still a senior at Christiansburg as he swings and sends a charge into a pitch into left center field, bouncing towards the Bluefield State sign. On his way to third is Torres. He rounds, headed for home. Meadows stays at second, and it's an RBI double for Nick Meadows. Meadows with a great start to his college career. Now Bluefield leads 26-5. And it just keeps on going. So for Meadows already a triple, 3 RBIs on that, and then sends in another runner on a big-time hit to left center field. So 26-5, Bluefield leads. So Meadows went to Cookout after a Christiansburg Blue Demons game last year. I was in there with a few of my friends, and he was wearing a BC hat. And didn't know I would meet him months later. As the first pitch comes in, big swing and a miss for Bluefield. That's Caleb Wood, the center fielder. And Meadows says he didn't play for Bluefield College. He had committed there. So then months later, he came in to be a student worker for the athletic department and then made the connection that that was him. On the 0-1 to Wood, he swings and taps it on the end of his bat. Fielded at short. Berger lobs to first in time for the out. Meadows over to third, and Wood is retired. That's the first out of the bottom of the 5th. Rams lead 26-5. Meadows over at third after the RBI double. That brings up Cardona once again. He struck out swinging his last time up back in the fourth inning. Led off the inning with a regular K. The first pitch from Logan Harris lobs outside. Count 1-0. Rams lead by 21 runs. Just one out. Pitch. Scurry's a little too far inside on Cardona, the Puerto Rico native. Makes it 2-0. Meadows with a healthy lead at third base. Pitch. Huge cut from Cardona. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is a pitch low. Well, Mike White can be confident in his offense. Bluefield put up 29 runs to really start out this season against Piedmont International. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens the count 2-2. That was a little bit less impressive because Piedmont International is a first-year program, but Ohio Christian has had a baseball program in the past, so Bluefield has been able to rout this pitching staff for the Trailblazers. 2-2, he takes a cut and a miss at a pitch low and makes it the second out of the inning. Second time Cardona has struck out. Logan Harris now has worked 2 outs and now tries to face Marcus Espinal again. Espinal homered back in the second inning, reached on an error, and he's been walked twice. So he's 1 for 2 with 4 runs scored as well as an RBI. That was a big home run he had out to left field. All homers for Bluefield have gone to left field. And the off-speed pitch just flows right into the strike zone. Strike 1. Meadows on at third base. He scored in Oscar Torres on an RBI double. The 0-1. Well, he was a little late on it and fouled it off on the right side. Pretty blue skies overhead, in the horizon just a little bit lighter. Sun goes on the side of the Appalachian Mountains. We're playing in nightfall now. We have a doubleheader. Pitch. Swing and a foul tip just saves Espinal as it goes off the glove of Haley. Count no balls, 2 strikes. Bluefield has put on a clinic today, scoring 26 runs on 17 hits. Looking at third, Harris with a pitch. In the dirt, glove by Haley. Makes it 1-2. Just 2 outs. Nick Meadows, you got to look at him in the future, a freshman that did not play any time on JV, already on the varsity program. The 1-2. Swung on and hit hard into right field, but straight at the right fielder, Hill, and that will end the 5th inning. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the 6th inning. Rams lead by 21, 26-5. Hunter Gray up to the plate. He watches that first pitch from Martin. Oh, just a bit inside. It's 1-0. Rams lead 26-5. We're in the top of the sixth. Slated to play 2 7-inning games as Hunter Gray serves it back. Got a couple of wood ducks flying overhead. That might be one of the more interesting things we've seen in the past couple of minutes. Rams lead by 21. It's 1-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Or strike 3, rather. And now Gray goes down on strikes. Martin with a big strikeout to start out the 6th inning. Now Clamforth will come up to the plate. The left-handed batter is now seeing the pitching for the fourth time today. He's 1 for 3. Now Martin in his 2nd inning of work winds and offers a fastball right down Broadway. It's strike 1. Oh, Martin and Bluefield have really showed off their hitting in this game. Tons of home runs. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And to think they trailed this game 3-0 when it started. No balls and 2 strikes. Martin from the belt. The righty serves it up. Swung on and popped up on the left side. The count stays at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Martin stares in, walks and offers, and off speed just goes a tad bit too far inside. Count is at 1-2 with just 1 out. Pitch. Outside, off the glove of Cardona. We've seen a ton of substitutions for the Rams today, but really in the infield, it has stayed the same. Espinal at 3rd. Over at 2nd, it's Jose or Bailey Castro at short. Perez at 2nd, and at 1st is Hector Perea. Now that hit into center field, it will drop in. Now Clamforth on his way to 2nd. Throw there, cut off by Castro, and it's a double for Clamforth on his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Runner in scoring position, Isaiah Haley up to the plate. And now we will see a new batter, rather. That's Eric McClure, the senior catcher from Baltimore, Ohio. Runner at 2nd and 1 out, so no double play opportunity for Bluefield. First pitch from McClure, sends it on a grounder, straight to Castro at short, lobs to 1st in time. And now a runner at 3rd with 2 outs. So McClure headed into that at-bat. He was hitting 200, and it will go down after he grounded out in his 6th at-bat of the year. Another new batter in. It will be Ethan Skoronski. So comes up for another chance against Bluefield pitching. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Runner at 3rd and Clamforth as the first pitch is outside. Count is at 1-0. For Bluefield, likely to move to 7-1 on the year. They lead by 21. It is 26-5. Rams scored 22 unanswered runs. The 1-0. Swung on and tipped back to that green wall of a backstop, and it will roll all the way back to the pitcher. He's the count at 1-1. 17 hits for the Rams. 1 error for Ohio Christian. They have 9 hits. They scored 2 runs back in the 4th, and then the Rams answered with 3 in the bottom half of that inning. 1-1. High and in. Well, lefty watches it go, makes the count 2-1. Have to be impressed with the Rams so far this year. They have absolutely drilled everyone they have played. Just with 1 loss against Bruton Parker, and they won that series 2-1. Next pitch swung on, popped up third base side. Martin on a charge near the dugout, and it will fall on top of our press box. Makes the count at 2-2. Well, Cardona tried to give it some chase as well, the catcher. Just couldn't get that ball out on the field. Count is 2-2. Runner at third base is Clamforth. Game one of a doubleheader. Just in the top of the sixth. Rams lead 26-5. Martin from the belt deals. Swung on and popped up foul. And over the backstop. So the count now at 2-2. Martin looks in. 2-2 deal. Inside, gets past Cardona, but that backstop, just cement and all, pops right back to him. Also have to note that the backstop here at Bowen Field, there's a slight incline going up towards that green wall with a little bit of a grassy knoll. Makes the count full 3 balls, 2 strikes. (26-5) Rams lead. Clamforth on at third with a double, and he advanced on a ground out. Payoff. Swung on and stroked into right center field. Meadows chasing back, and that will drop in for a base hit. Clamforth will score. Away to second goes Skoronski. He's charging to third. Throw cut off by Mosquea. And now in with an RBI triple will be Ethan Skoronski, and it makes it 26-6. Lead is cut down to 20. And now going up to the plate, it will be Ian Reisinga. Back up to the plate, Reisinga. He's the first baseman that has not been subbed out yet. He's had a pretty good day at the plate as he watches the first fastball go high and outside. Righty-to-righty matchup here. He singled back in the third and also in the fourth. He scored on a single from Logan Hill back in the first inning after being walked. And the next pitch hits the outside corner, makes it 1-1. So with the count even at 1-1, Reisinga has a runner at third. The pitch swung on, line drive, and by the second baseman. What a glove by Jose Perez, and that will end the top of the sixth. Could have been another run for Ohio Christian, but the second baseman jumps up to snag it. So a run scores on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Rams lead by 20, 26-6. Leading 26-6, Rams lead by 20 heading into the bottom of the sixth. And now Bailey Castro comes up to the plate, 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs scored. Jose Perez behind him, and Josh McGee batting in the hole. First pitch goes inside on Castro. Logan Harris still the man on the mound for Ohio Christian, entering his third inning of work. It's only a 7-inning game, folks, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Castro took a heavy heave on that one. Makes the count at 1-1. Rams almost ready to not make it, or rather improve their season to 7-1. The 1-1. Castro watches it go in the dirt. Gets him up in the count at 2-1. Last time Castro was up, he had that ball that just snuck over the wall in left field. Very close to being foul, but Castro with his first home run of the season. The pitch swung on, popped up on the left side. Shortstop Barger calling ball, and he steps right in front of Raymond to make the catch for out number 1. Good start for Ohio Christian here in the 6th inning. Jose Perez up to the plate. Well, Perez ended that top of the 6th with a great snag, robbing Rysingum an RBI as well as a base hit. Josh McGee on deck for Bluefield. Rams lead 26-6, scoring 22 unanswered runs in the first 3 innings, and then put up 4 right after that. Meanwhile, for Perez, he scored a few times today as well. A couple of fielder's choices, a single as well as a walk. Well, the first pitch goes inside. Strike 1, though, on the lefty. Also flew out to center field back in the 4th inning. Righty to lefty, the pitch. Perez kneels in on it, but the ball scrapes in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1. One more game after this. And this doubleheader, we moved it up to Friday to get it away from the rain. The 1-1 goes high and inside. This has nearly been a 3-hour game. Starting right back at 4 o'clock. Count at 2-1. From the belt. Swung on and popped up. Shallow left. Barger backpedaling. Now called off by Gray, who sneaks up to make the catch for out number 2. And that is the first time since, no, rather, it's 2 consecutive innings where this Ohio Christian team has been able to retire consecutive batters. Josh McGee going up to the plate. We haven't seen a 1-2-3 inning from either side today. He talks it over with the umpire and then creeps in on the right side. Logan Harris kicks and fires. Off-speed pitch outside. McGee hit a home run in this one. Absolutely drilled it back in the 4th inning. He scored 4 runs today. Had a single back in the 1st inning. Struck out looking in the 2nd. And homered in the 4th. The pitch. Another off-speed pitch. Loops into the strike zone. Makes the 1. So for McGee, he's trying to keep this day going. Rams already leading 26-6. 1-1. Swung on and grounded hard down the 3rd base line, but foul. Now the count is at 1-2. Harris just a strike away from racking up his first 3-up, 3-down inning of the game. Just in the bottom of the 6th. We are playing in a 7-inning game. The Rams did play in a couple of 5-inning contests against Piedmont International, winning those ones 17-5 and 29-5. Count at 1-2. McGee at the plate. Harris on the mound. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch. Watches a fastball go high and away, and the count is at 2-2. So this is not even the most runs that the Rams have scored this entire year. 2-2. Loops high and outside. Three balls, 2 strikes. McGee in a full count with 2 outs and nobody on. Payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him, and that's the first 3-up, 3-down inning of the entire game by either team. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 26-6, headed to the 7th inning. Bluefield trying to close out Game 1 of this doubleheader when we come back on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Martin still on the mound for Bluefield, headed into the 7th inning. Bluefield leads 26-6 over Ohio Christian. We got a game right after this as well. Another 7-inning contest here at Bowen Field. And now the pinch hitter in is Michael Anderson, batting in the place of Hayden Hufford. Well, Martin has done a very good job today. The right-handed pitcher deals a fastball right down the middle for strike one. And for Bluefield in those cream jerseys, they might not want to wash them because something is in the water for Bluefield. Count is out 1-1. And for Anderson, just batting 167 on the year. This is his 7th at-bat, the 1-1. Swung on and hit hard into center field, bouncing for a base hit. Anderson on with a single to open up the 7th inning, but still his team with a long hill to climb, down by 20 here in the 7th inning. Now up once again. New player into bat, watched inside. Hunter Holt up once again. Last time he was up, he grounded out to second base. So we're in the 6, 7, 8. Rams up by 20. Sun is fully set here. We're playing in nighttime in our first game of this doubleheader. Well, the 1-0 is outside, but hits that corner. Count is at 1-1. So the Rams 3 outs away from wrapping up a Game 1 victory. Now the 1-1. High and outside, Cardona had to jump up to catch it, telling his pitcher to just cool down. This is Martin's first outing of the season. And so far, so good for Bluefield. Going to play one more game after this. And then a 9-inning contest tomorrow. 2-1. Just a bit inside on the lefty. Count is 3-1. 26-6, Rams lead by 20. They scored 22 unanswered runs in the first 3 innings of the game. Next pitch goes high and outside, and there's a walk. So the 2 first batters on for Ohio Christian. And another pinch hitter in. It will be number 1, Zach Mason. Normally a catcher. Senior from Columbus, Ohio. Steps up to the plate with 2 men on. Runner at second and a runner at first. Bluefield leads by 20. Pitch. Way in outside. Way high, I should say, on the righty. Well, Mason hitting .250 on the year. This is his first at-bat. Next pitch. Little inside makes it 2-0. And now a quick mound visit from Cardona. Two balls and no strikes. And Zach Mason walks back up to the plate. 2 runners on. Pitch. Inside and low. So Martin struggling now, where Bluefield has luckily given him such a large cushion. Next pitch, once again inside, ball 4, bases are loaded. Bases loaded and another pinch hitter in for Ohio Christian. That's Joe Henderson, the freshman. He doesn't even have a position listed on the roster. Bases loaded, no outs. Pitch. Henderson watches the fastball go high, but called a strike. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, top 7. Pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And now Bluefield finally has an out in the 7th. Back to the top of the lineup, Hunter Gray. He hit a home run to start this game almost 3 hours ago. Bases are loaded. Hunter Gray back on the plate. Pitch from Martin. Inside. 26-5, or 26-6 rather. Rams lead by 20. The 0-1. Swung on and tapped foul, ricocheting towards the bullpen for Ohio Christian. And the count is at 0-2, so Martin trying to get out of this jam. Luckily, like we said, a 20-run lead for Bluefield. So they have that rare benefit of being up by just a gigantic amount of runs. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, another strikeout for Martin, and now just 1 out away from wrapping this one up. Here's the pitch, high and outside on Clamforth. Last time Clamforth was up, he nailed a double, ended up scoring on an RBI triple from Skorowski. He also has a single in this one, so he's 2 for 4 with a run scored. Pitch, swung on, popped up left side. Castro under it, jogs up Squeezes the glove, and the game is over. Rams win it 26-6 and move on to 7-1. Ohio Christian 2-7. Got about a half an hour, and we'll have another game up for you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. But for now, Game 1, Rams win it 26-6 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network.